So it was decided then, in the meantime, Father married Mother. Mother was about 15. Father was 28, as I recall. May have been 24, but I think it was 28. So they gathered together a wagon. And of course, Dad took his tools, that is, he got tools. And the main thing was a big crosscut saw, I think it was an 8-foot saw, and his axes, and his sharpening tools, like a file for the saw, a couple of them, and a stone for his axe. And they started out. Now, the only way you could cross the Columbia River, you went up the Willamette to Portland, and then you met the Columbia. The Columbia is a big river. The only way you can cross it was a ferry at a little town of Kalama, which is about, I've been there many times, so you, Mom. I think it was about 20 miles or maybe 30 miles down the river. Now, they were going north. The Columbia River runs north from Portland and turns west and goes to the ocean. Well, they crossed this ferry and then started out and just through the country. There was no road, there was trails. But I don't know how long it took them to get from there to Olympia. That's where they were going. But it was a long time. And Mother said that they'd go a little ways and there'd be a tree falling across the trail or the oak. So they look around, try to find a way to get through, and couldn't do it. So Dad got the big saw out and saw the thing in two, and hook his team on, pull the thing out of the way, and then drive through. Well, probably, I would imagine it took him a month to go to Olympia. Well, in Olympia, there was just a little settlement. And Dad still didn't know where he's going to settle. Of course, he can homestead most any place. So he prospected the whole part of the Puget Sound, that area. He went to Seattle, and while he was there, he got acquainted with Mr. Yesler, who was the founder of Seattle. In fact, he built a sawmill there, the Yesler Mill. That Yesler Mill is on the almost the exact spot of the railroad station, Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul railroad station today. Well, Father talked to Yesler, and Yesler tried to get Father to get together a logging outfit so that he could go up on the hill and log for Yesler. Yesler apparently owned the land, or he did own it. And that was the area on top of what we call the first hill in Seattle. It's bounded on the east, I'd say, by Broadway, on the west. Broadway runs south. On the east by Broadway, and on the west by the knob of the hill, which is probably around 8th Avenue, 8th Street. And on the north by Madison Street, on the south by Yesler Way. And he said, now, if you can go up there and log 10 acres, it was beautiful standing timber. He says, I'll give you half the land. That would have meant if Dad could have arranged to get in there, he'd had 5 acres of land right in the center of Seattle. Anyway, he couldn't do it, so he went back and decided to take a homestead just out of Olympia. Now, he figured that Olympia, being the end of Puget Sound, was going to be the big city, which was his mistake. So he took a homestead about, I think about 10 miles south of Olympia in a place called Bush Prairie. Bush Prairie. And it was nothing in the world but timber. As the old Arkansas traveler said, it's thick as hair on the back of a dog. And he stayed there about 12 years. And he built a barn. I'll tell you about that a little later. Anyway, finally he got so disgusted with Puget Sound weather, he cleared off a 40-acre swamp, pasture land, that he raised hay on. And for every year he'd mow his hay, and he had to do with a hand scythe. And then the rains would come, spoil his hay. He was raising cattle, so then he'd have to buy hay and scrounge around, and sometimes he'd just turn them loose and all that sort of thing. Well, anyway, then he decided to go to Elmsburg. Now, I believe that they were one of probably the first year the Northern Pacific Railroad was open. They went to Ellensburg and bought a little 16-acre ranch over there because of the weather.